Excuse me, I have work to do.
I don't need any drinks.
Our fate lies in the morning device. It must be completed. I am old and my eyesight is not what it used to be, but I know the face of success when I see it. Your lead from Haustul Kef paid off. I did not, but it does not surprise me. So many projects over the decades. So many secrets. So few successes. I have heard of such a thing. Recently, in fact, just before the accident. That is apparently not a coincidence. We do not need it for the device, but if this accounts for some of the leaps in progress in the Citadel, you may wish to hold on to it. As much as I have devoted my life to science, one cannot deny that there is an occasional spark of the divine. The Great Serpent has use for this, and you, still to come. If House Vethal cooperates, we should have everything we need. Progress is always welcome, but we are not done yet.
This has to work. I have faith.
Harbinger?
This place is exactly what I pictured. House Varun takes its military seriously. Maybe too seriously. That being said, don't see too many soldiers. Every time I see a lock, I wonder, what are you hiding?
All I am saying is that I am not pleased with the recent outsider.
Need some stopping power, huh? Well, look who it is. Dazra's very own guest of honor. You must have friends in high places, as I have been authorized to trade with you. I have some impressive firepower on offer. Of course I do. Now, what are you buying? They will not know what hit them.
Oh, must serve.
Yes, the investigation you are running. I was told it needs to stop.
Great servant be at your side.
This is husband's handiwork, is it not?
Watch yourself. No one shares your view more than I, but I would not dare to say more.
This is foolish, Victor. The High Council needs access to the power grid if we hope to restore the city. Your inability to provide a legitimate
Personal matters. This is a Ministry of State matter, and I will handle it as I see fit. He is a traitor. He turned his back not only on his family. He is a stain upon the house with all name.
You will doom us all with your pride.
I will do as I please as head of this house. If you are not a member of House Bethel, you do not belong here. Another High Council lackey come begging? I told Lovik no more!
Forgive my brother. He has been forgetting his manners of late. Victor, this is Anaskel's chosen. You recall Lovik sent word.
I recall he spoke of a newly anointed promised. And we do not need help, especially from an outsider.
You can't continue to refuse the council. You must act. Your inaction is killing you.
Precisely, which is why he leaves me no choice but to say this. My nephew Varric has left, and until he returns, Victor refuses to assist the council.
These are hardly matters for the ears of an outsider. And who are you to tell me what is vital and what is not? You are an outsider. You have no understanding of our house. Yes, quite the conundrum indeed.
Is this not the opportunity you've been looking for, brother? A third party capable of finding Varric?
Yes, you said so yourself. Someone with no loyalties to speak of. And if he's become promised, truly his arrival is more than coincidence.
Serpent, give me strength. You both speak true. Perhaps I have reacted in haste. Tell me, Harbinger, are you well practiced in discretion? I hope your word is good as well. As Vittoria mentioned, my son, Varric, has left. Essentially, he has abandoned his post. And not only did he turn his back on his house, but the Great Serpent as well. He is a traitor and must be dealt with as such.
Victor, surely you don't mean it.
He does, Luther. He is allowing his fervent pride and anger to cloud his judgment. What my brother is trying to say is that he wishes his own son dead. First, we lose Vashti to that malignance tearing through Dazra. And now you so willingly offer up Varric. As if our house has not suffered enough loss already.
My son denounced the very faith that defines Varun's society. He dared to blame a Nazgul for the state of Dazra. Dared to call our faith in the Great Serpent blind. It is heresy and punishable by death. I will not speak of her with an outsider, promised or not. Your focus is solely on Varric. Because he let his weakness get the better of him. He sees himself as a prisoner in this life. He runs from a duty that others would spend their lives coveting. He is my son. He does not get to choose. He was born to inherit my title, and he knows the punishment for refusing to honor it. Of course it would. As someone from the settled systems, you have no concept of what the Great Serpent demands of us. I do not wish Varric dead, but as head of the Ministry of State, he left me no choice. All must serve. Those who refuse will be met with death. Our duty as wardens is to keep the populace tasked and loyal. All must serve, both the Great Serpent and House Varun. No exceptions. Those who refuse must be cleansed to stop the spread of corruption. I will not have it known that I declared my own son a heretic and allowed him to escape our grasp. This knowledge weakens the Ministry of State's authority, something we cannot risk at this time. This is why my interest turned to a third party, someone outside of the noble houses, but we have yet to determine someone trustworthy enough. Until now. The shame Varric brought upon this house is immeasurable. It stains the very foundation. I will not act until this house is in order and its members are properly aligned with the Great Serpent. Exceptions show weakness, and we cannot afford to show weakness at a time like this.
We have done the same for less. You act as if death is the only answer. What about forgiveness?
I will not risk the Ministry's authority on the actions of my own son, even if he is my chosen heir. If the High Council wants my cooperation, I need you to find Varric and carry out his sentence.
And I would ask you to spare him. My brother is acting under impulse, not reason.
I have never been more clear. Speak against me one more time, and you will regret it. Varric has a signet ring with House Bethal's family crest. Bring it to me as proof of death. Only then will I grant you access to the power grid. There is no other way. The Ministry of State must uphold order, and you will be expected to serve as we all do. I recommend you start by speaking to patrons of the Herald's Rest. Some of Veric's associates there may know where he went, but keep in mind, anyone who has directly aided him in hiding is an accomplice and shares his fate. The Herald's Rest is our local bar, and unfortunately, my son's favorite establishment to frequent. And while I know a bar isn't the ideal place for discretion, I still expect you to keep these matters private. All anyone needs to know is that you are looking for Varic. If they were, they will pay the price. And remember, absolute discretion. All anyone needs to know is that you are looking for Varic for personal reasons. I will not risk word of his disappearance getting out before I can say the situation has been handled.
I, too, would ask you spare Varic. Victor is in no condition to be making such decisions. Whatever happened to Dazra, our home was taken along with it. Victor felt the keep was the most logical place to stay until more long-term plans were able to be made. The Ministry of State oversees military and security, so we already have established offices here. Vashti was Victor's daughter. We lost her in the accident. She and Varic were very close. She was his anchor and voice of reason. I truly believe if she was still with us, Varic would be too. Varic is a dreamer who let his fascination with the settled systems get the best of him. You could always tell his heart wasn't into learning about Varun society, noble houses, ministries, Dazra. He was a devout student, but none of it interested him. The only lessons that truly fascinated him were about space and exploration. Our house was taken during the incident. Our losses are great. Vashti being foremost in our minds. Excuse me. I'd rather not speak about it. You don't know Victor Vathal. He may be the most stubborn man in Dazra next to Anasko Varun himself, but that doesn't mean we won't try. He adores Varic, and if he died without reconciling their differences, I think it would break him. He never got to say goodbye to Vashti, and he hasn't taken it well. Until next time.